The Signal. This is the first part of a scary story from a subscriber. It takes place in an abandoned forest on Ukraine's eastern front. A Russian soldier named Igor was sitting in a tree fort at midnight when he heard a strange transmission through his radio. At first it was just static, but then he heard a whispering voice that sounded like it was coming from inside his head. The voice kept repeating his name, but when he tried to respond, all the power cut out and the radio started playing screams instead of words. As the story goes on, the whispers start to drive him insane. He starts seeing visions of Ukrainian soldiers and hears gunshots and explosions even when there are none. To make things worse, he's starting to feel really sick, and his body is covered with unexplainable wounds. What's happening to Igor? And is there a way to stop it? I don't know. This story is creepy as hell, but unfortunately it's just too long for this platform. So if you want to hear the rest, comrades, but they're all accounted for. So he follows the shadow and finds this bloody helmet. It's old, dusty, and has the year 1943 engraved on it. He takes off his own helmet and puts it next to the bloody one. They're identical except for the names. His name is spelled out in full on one of the helmets. But how can this be? This helmet is over 80 years old. How could there be a name from the future on a helmet from 1943? The soldiers don't stick around to find out. They run away as fast as they can from the creepy tunnel. But one of them trips and falls, and that's when they hear it. The sound of heavy footsteps running towards them through the tunnel. This is the most haunted place that I have ever traveled. This is an abandoned town near Kyiv. And as we were flying our drone over the ruins, we saw what we thought was a group of soldiers moving through the buildings, so we sent a ground unit to check it out. But when they arrived, there was no one there. As we were reviewing the footage, we realized that the faces of the soldiers were all the same. These are the men who died in the early days of the war. And then we saw one more face that we didn't recognize. I want you to take a good look at this man because he's not from this video. This is our squad leader. He was staring back at us from the screen, expressionless as if he had been dead the whole time. This happened to a lone soldier in World War II. He was stationed in a ruined radio station, and his job was to broadcast their location to the Allies so they could send in reinforcements. But one day, as he was broadcasting, he heard his own voice repeating the message back to him. And when he looked up at the monitor, his face was on it. But something was wrong. His eyes were empty black holes, and he had a sinister smile on his face. The broadcast cut to static, and he was never seen again. Some say that the stress of war can really mess with your head. But this soldier's story was never supposed to be leaked by the government. If you like scary stories, stay tuned for more.